Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton issued an opinion yesterday saying fantasy sports run by the national companies that take some of the money is illegal in Texas. Paxton's opinion is right. It's the law that's wrong. We live in a state where most of our elected officials say they want government out of our lives, and yet we have a law that says we can't play the games of chance like fantasy sports and poker. I'm not one of the 33 million Americans who play fantasy sports, but I do play poker, and I'm pretty bad at it too. But a law that says I can't play Texas Hold'em in Texas is an incredibly stupid law. The hypocrisy of the legislators who support that law bothers me a great deal, and it should bother you too. But then it's the same legislators who fund the state commission that encourages us to buy lottery tickets. And the next time I see someone cashing a winning ticket who had any business buying a ticket will be the first time. The same legislators who tell us we should be allowed to openly carry guns in Texas, except in the building where they work. The same legislators who want to deny gay men and women the right to marry the person they love because they want government out of our lives, but in our bedroom. Only 2 of the 50 states in America, Hawaii and Utah, don't have some type of gambling. Gambling is a part of our culture and has been since the Mayflower landed. Our forefathers introduced gambling to the American Indian, and now the American Indian owns most of the casinos in America. We've tried to legislate morality before. We banned drinking in America about 100 years ago. People still drank, and we made millionaires out of the bootleggers, and then we decided it really doesn't work. Trying to legislate the morality of gambling doesn't work either. It's estimated that Americans bet about $95 million on just football last year, $93 million of it illegally. Nevada casinos bring in about $1 billion a month. That's billion with a B, and there are more than 1,500 casinos in America. I've heard the argument that gambling leads to compulsive gambling. I'm familiar. And leads to political corruption, which I believe would be redundant. But if you're going to fight every effort to help the poorest among us, don't try and tell me how I can spend my money. The absolute hypocrisy of that argument bothers me a great deal, and it should bother you too.
There's gambling of one sort or another in 44 states. There's lotteries, I think, in 43 states. And so we gamble, right? I mean, it wasn't like people ignored the Powerball when it hit 1.4 billion, right? It wasn't like there wasn't lines for people to get it. So, you know, gambling is accepted, and gambling is part of our culture. And if this is a step towards, you know, getting it regulated and formalized and, you know, even taxed a little bit, that's fine.
Mark Cuban and I agree.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Now I'm going to go take a shower and lie down.